Hello, Schmoeville. Well, it is episode 35 of the podcast. We're still in phase 2 here on the Schmoes Know podcast channel. In reality, we're now on phase 5. You can check that out every Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. PST on schmoesknow.com. We had our very first show. That's up on the YouTube channel and schmoesknow.com. You should really check that out if you haven't. For those of you catching up on the phases, this is a great episode because our good buddy, if you're familiar with the Toad Hop days, Ethan Erwin has been on a handful of times during the Toad Hop days, but this is during phase 2. His second appearance ever on the show. Right now, at this present time, Ethan actually is the president of Joel Silver's company. At the time, he was a producer over there, and I forget what his title was. He might have been a vice president at the time. However, we talked about a whole bunch of things. He talked about his producing on Sherlock, and we talked about Bullet in the Head and a few other movies that he'd been doing, and just in general. Ethan's great. Listening to Ethan, I could listen to Ethan talk about movies all day long. He's hysterical. He's a funny dude, and he knows his stuff. He's super intelligent, and I love listening to Ethan talk movies. I wish he was on the show all the time. And then we played the game. It was 2 weeks in a row that we played the game. It started to become popular, I think, after the first time we played it, and you guys were asking for it, so we played it again. And Ethan, you should listen and see how Ethan does. So that's it. Take a listen. This is episode 35 of the podcast, and check out the current episodes today. You can check it out on the channel. And thanks a lot, Schmoeville. You guys are great. Bye.
All right, guys, we're back. It's the Schmoes Know podcast. I'm Kristian Harloff.
I am Mark, and it's the Schmoes Know podcast, and this episode is going to be known as Dude Fest 2012.
Dude Fest, excuse me as I finish my trail mix.
You're always eating.
Great broadcasting decision.
Who's that? Oh, that's not Catherine Reitman again. Who the hell is that? It's Kenny Napzok. What's up, Kenny?
Thank you so much for having me back. Last week after I appeared in place of Catherine, I received so much hate mail, mostly from the Reitman family.
No, that's true. We love you very much, and we're glad that you're back.
Jason is good with evil words.
That's true.
I don't care what everyone else says about you, Kenny. We kind of like you.
But Kenny, I have to be honest, we had a lot of focus on you last week. Not so much this week. Spotlight's off you this week.
Which is probably better.
We have another returning guest this week, and he's a good buddy of the show. He's a good buddy of ours in general. He is one of the producers of the latest Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows movie, and
welcome.
And the upcoming. We're going to talk about that. And the upcoming Project X. Mr. Ethan Erwin.
All right.
What up, y'all?
What's up, Ethan? How are you, man?
I am very well. Good to see you guys again.
It's been quite a while since we have hung out and shot the shat, if you will.
I know, and look at this studio. This is amazing. This is like you're like real professionals now.
It's like a step up from last time, right? Yeah. When Ethan was here last time, I think the mic was on a bunch of pizza boxes.
Yeah, no, we literally did it in the back of like this Chinese place. Yeah. It was nice. I mean, the Peking duck was tremendous.
No, we had karaoke mics last time.
Microphone. What do you say? We had some string. We had a couple tin cans.
It's like that scene in Rocky when he's like, "Hey yo!" He screams out the window.
No, but thanks for having me back.
Of course, man. We're happy to have you. We have a lot of stuff that we want to talk to you about. The first, of course, is let's talk about Sherlock Holmes: Game of Shadows.
Yes. Well, I know you guys loved it. I saw your review. You said it was funny. You did your top 10 movies of the year, and I didn't see it on there. And I saw you did a special episode where you named it the best movie, not just of the year, but you think of the entire decade.
If you can hint the sarcasm in Ethan's voice,
yes.
You know Ethan pretty well.
I believe the actual score of Game of Shadows was, I think Kristian gave it, what, 3?
3
out of 5, and I gave it like 3.3 or 3.4, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
now look.
Yes.
Here's the thing with. I thought the movie obviously was well done. I think the style with Game of Shadows was very consistent with Guy Ritchie the way he did the first one. I just thought it was very confusing.
Yes, it's interesting. You know, you work on something for so long, and in my case, I worked on it for about a year and a half, and you become so close to it.
Yeah.
It all makes sense. You know all the ins and outs, and so it's not really until you expose it to an audience that you see things that which made perfect sense to you, and while you were making it, you understood, which didn't always necessarily come across. You know, I think in this case.
Did you get that from a few of the audience?
Sometimes, yeah. Usually by the end, and I think you said this in your review, by the end everything gets explained,
yes.
But while it's going on, you really don't have an opportunity to solve it yourself.
Right, and what you guys do have in these films, and I think, and that's why, I mean, of course, I'm going to be excited to see the third one, is the chemistry between Downey and Jude Law is amazing still, and maybe even better than in the first one because they're so used to each other now.
Yeah, no, I think, and ultimately what we discovered in talking to folks is that is what brought them back.
Right.
You know, when you look at the exit polling, what do they really want to see? Yeah, they want to see action. They want to go see, you know, a funny movie for the holidays. But they really love those two guys. And I think in the third one, which we're moving forward with now, just really in the early, you know,
just like
discussion phases.
Okay.
More Robert Downey cross-dressing.
I think it's going to be.
What I'm saying.
I think finally they're going to. I think we just have to send them off on a honeymoon together. That's really what it's just going to be.
Like a scene from the HBO show Oz.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It'll be. It's really going to go into that territory. I mean, Shame I think really broke a lot of barriers with NC-17. So I think we're going to
plants every time they get turned around to the right.
You talk about breaking barriers. There was a wrecking ball in Shame. I don't know if you saw it, but my goodness.
Yes.
Now here's a question. I don't know if you can answer it. If is Rachel McAdams dead?
Maybe.
Okay.
Honestly, we'll have to see. The reason that we potentially killed her in the second film was to motivate.
You look like a Sherlock villain right now. Like we asked you,
he's twitching his mustache.
Yeah. I really,
You're going to have to figure it out yourself.
Yeah, it's all part of the mystery, which you could solve by paying money for Sherlock Holmes 3.
Right.
It'll cost you $15.
Yes. No, I mean, I will say that, at this point it's all spoilers, and the movie's been out for a little while.
Yeah.
The concept was, yes, that she would be...
would be dead forever.
Would be dead,
Okay.
but that doesn't necessarily... But same thing, other originally, when we, ended it, Holmes also didn't come back in the original cut that we did. And we went back and reshot it with Holmes coming back.
Oh, thank goodness.
But even so...
I need a happy ending.
Even if they left it where he didn't come back... they still could have open-ended it.
Well, I'm not saying Moriarty's dead. I don't think Moriarty's necessarly dead yet either. That guy's pretty crafty down a waterfall.
No way he's dead.
So really, in this universe, you're not always necessarily dead. There's ways that people are all the characters are very clever.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you too. I guess it was because in the novels you never really saw Moriarty's face ever, right?
Well, no, you had to read it. There's no pictures in novels.
You don't know what I meant. He never revealed himself to anybody.
Only in the story, The Final Problem, which actually we based a lot of the story on.
Okay. And the reason I say this is because, and I don't know if it's maybe because looking back on it, I liked them more than I did. I thought it was almost like I don't know this. I wanted a little more of a like someone to match wits with Downey. Just the guy, but I am in the minority because Ethan, we do our You Reviewers Awards every year, and we did this category this year for Best Villain, and there was an outcry that Moriarty did not make the nomination list.
It was a stacked year for villains too. This was not an easy year to walk in.
I didn't actually see who won, but it was Voldemort.
Oh no one won yet. It'll be but
the only person that knows are the good people at PricewaterhouseCoopers who keep it under wraps until
mid-February. They will be announced. But Moriarty just missed.
I really enjoyed that showdown at the end of the movie between him and Moriarty. That's what I was hoping I would get to see. In addition, because I like the interaction between him and Jude Law too.
Yeah.
I just I admit I've gotten a lot dumber since college as far as following movies and stuff.
Hey, great.
But, you didn't even know me in college.
Yeah.
Wake Forest would not take me now.
Right.
But I had more trouble following this one than I did the first one. But again, also I saw Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and that one was really tough to follow too.
No, not even the same.
So I blame it on me.
That movie was unnecessarily complicated. Tinker Tailor, which I thought it was really great visually, and I really enjoyed it. And Gary Oldman was tremendous in it. But yes, it's similarly. Yeah, we have discovered, and actually I found this with Mission Impossible as well, having some of the same problems that some audience members are having with Sherlock Holmes. But hopefully in the next one we will further rectify that. We tried to address some of those issues in this one from the last one.
Right.
Because people felt like not enough was going on in the last one. They thought it was all maybe too simple. So this one, we overcomplicated it. But I think people are really, for the most part, enjoying it. It actually tested higher in audience exit polling than the last one.
Sorry, go ahead, Ethan.
No, and just, which was gratifying, and also... the opening weekend, all the movies that opened that weekend didn't open as big as the previous ones had.
And it started catching on after the next couple of weeks, right?
But now it's continuing to go steady. It's going to make, it's going to end up doing about as well as the first one, which we're very excited about.
Good. I'm glad. That's what my next question is. Mark and I do a segment every Sunday called Box Office Sunday.
Basically, that segment is I guess what the box office is. I go 0 for 5, and then Alex Trebek, asshole over here with all the answers already, corrects me in a French accent.
Yeah, and what we've noticed is consistently Sherlock is like the 3 spot, the 2 spot.
I was
the
really
3 spot.
impressed at how well it's holding.
Yeah, it keeps up, and so I was curious about it because last week
that the Chipmunk movie. They just
Well, can I tell you something?
Shipwreck.
Can I tell you something that just bothered me for forevers? On the first movie, the first movie opened at Christmas 2009, opposite Chipmunks 2, and that movie
You
that
can't get 'em
movie
out of your
beat
life.
us by like $10 million in the end, and I was just domestically, and I was so furious. Every weekend it was just like $500,000 more, whatever, but it added up to being like $10 million more. But this time we were handily outpacing them. So
Well, I think we know who the villain in Sherlock 3 is going to be. It's going to be Alvin and the gang, and
It
he's
could
going to have
be.
to get him once and for all.
Well, I mean, wait. So what was the reaction when you had to go against them this year?
we were like, what? Well, it was crazy. And we were originally going to open opposite. Mission Impossible was going to open opposite us, and then they tested all of our trailers and did tracking and stuff. And I don't know. Oh my God, I hate you. And they ended up moving off our date. You know what? I actually like Alvin and the Chipmunks. I didn't see the new one, but I did go see the first 2 in the theater.
Do you have kids, or did you just see him by yourself in a trench coat?
No, but I love kids.
Yeah. It sounds like
So,
Creepy. You got a van outside?
no, it's like an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
It's converted.
Well, wait. So
found a couple kids on
That's how
Craigslist that wanted to go see
recommend.
Chipmunks.
That's right. Well, did they have so? Mark and I and Kenny were last week. We were talking about the box office. Like 2011, for the most part, was fairly disappointing for the industry.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like it. I mean,
Yeah.
it ended up being down.
Well, we were kind of going over our theories why, as far as we said that with this new sound systems and better technology for a home theater, and then people are assholes with their cell phones in the theater, and
the prices are exorbitant.
prices. So, I mean, do you think that's kind of the main reasons why? And because
Yeah,
the
and
economy.
I think the economy definitely plays a role. That said, I think if the material, the product out there is compelling enough, they'll come. They all came for Harry Potter.
Right.
I mean, Fast and Furious,
Right.
Hangover 2. So movies there were movies that really did incredibly well.
Yes, and there were other movies that should have done incredibly well that were great that didn't, maybe because they were going up. I mean, because like Warrior was a fantastic movie, and just
And
Yeah,
something like Warhorse or Tintin didn't do as well as I thought they
Warhorse is
would.
doing better. Warhorse
Warhorse hanging in there.
yeah, Tintin the Great International.
I saw that was your favorite movie of last year.
Warhorse?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my only perfect score. 5 out of 5, man. Love that
you hate
damn
it?
horse.
No, I didn't hate it. I just felt like it doesn't know exactly what it is. It's like it's kind of a kids movie, and it's kind of like
It's a horsey
for
movie.
adults. I enjoyed it.
Listen to him. He's like a 6-year-old. It's a horsey movie.
Did you see the? I'm just gonna plug the
Stallions
play.
of the modern
The play
times.
is coming to the Amundsen Theater
I'm
in
going
Los
to see that. I
Angeles.
heard it's fantastic.
It is
right?
amazing.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Really?
Because they do all the horses with puppets. And
Yeah.
it's tremendous.
We should review the Warhorse play.
And compare it and see if it holds up. I actually think it's
Listen,
significantly better.
yeah.
That,
I'm sorry, continue.
no, that's okay. That movie, it's so strange because it seems to be like this. Like you talk to people, there are people who hate that movie, Warhorse. Like hate it.
Hey,
And
Warhorse?
hate it. It's
What?
so weird. Like
That's because it touched them in places that they're uncomfortable
it's
with.
very true. In the back of
What did
a
that
battlefield.
horse do
Yeah.
to you?
Yeah, that's a big horse. Now, no, because what it is, I think that a lot of people were upset with the manipulation of the way that Spielberg kind of pulled at the heartstrings and was really on the nose with how.
That's why I'm
Why would you
going-
not expect that with a
When I
Spielberg?
go to the movie, I'm going to be manipulated. That's
Well,
what I
there's
like.
There's 2 sides to it. There's that side that I'm on your side there
Yeah.
because I love the movie. But there's that side. Like I talk to people and they're like, I hate it. Like a friend of ours who we know was killing it.
Didn't like that they talk.
Oh.
Here's the thing, too, and it's John Williams doing the score. John Williams has a guy in the London Symphony, and his instrument is playing the heartstrings. That's
Right,
what he just
right, yeah,
pulls.
exactly.
That's what he does.
Right. So I mean, it's just strange. But
His name's Neville.
Neville the heartstring tugger.
that's
yes.
right. But
The Heartstring Tuggers Union is tough to get into, so you know what? Don't begrudge Neville.
well, Ethan, you talked about so you guys were happy with Sherlock. You bummed the first weekend, obviously, and then
Yeah, we weren't even bummed. It was just like we do a thing called tracking, which the studio does, which essentially pulls audiences, heartstrings in the months and weeks before a movie comes out, as how interested they are in it, what they're aware of, what they're interested in, how interested they are, and they do it by demographics. And the numbers told us that it was going to be an enormous opening.
Yeah.
And so we had just been set up for that. I think had we not thought that we would have been perfectly happy. And,
Right.
and of course, as you said, in the end, we are very
Right,
happy
because all
how
those
it's
people
doing.
that said they wanted to see it saw it, just not the weekend they said they were going to
Exactly.
see it. Right.
It's been much more staggered, and I don't know if that's because of the weekend or what. 'Cause
Now, and can I ask a question about tracking? Like, is it exactly what do you do if I'm a guy who is helping you with that process? Like, do I get something in the mail?
You're fucked.
Is it like, yeah? Wait, there's no horses? I'm not seeing it. Is it like you get something in the mail and they ask you, hey, what do you think about Sherlock? And you return a card. What is?
No, they like stand outside of movie theaters. They stand there in malls. They're shopping centers, and they literally just say, "Hey, can I ask you a few questions about movies?" Then they'll ask them unaided awareness.
Oh, so I've been blowing those people off for years.
The slow ones that don't get away are deciding the movie industry.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Those are the ones that usually
Smart
get
people
attracted.
are like,
to
I gotta go.
right.
The one who's like, I'll answer
Yeah, you know who tracks me very well at the mall? Chick-fil-A free samples.
that works.
They're going to have a big opening.
So at some point, you guys come to I don't know whether it be because Joel Silver, also a producer on the film, basically says, "Okay, guys, we're happy with this," and then talks to Warner Brothers, and they let's go for 3. So it's greenlit. It's ready.
I mean, we were already proceeding on 3 before it ever came out,
okay.
under the assumption that the movie would do at least as well as the last.
So you guys were cocky going.
Ballsy. I like it.
yeah. Well, no, you know what?
It's a safe bet with Downey and everything. It's a safe
Of course,
bet. I
and the
would think.
first one was
Come on,
successful.
yeah.
So
And the turnaround is so great. It takes so much time that to get something out in the
Right.
next 2 to 3 years, we really do need to start working on it
right.
just right away.
Well, so is there anything that you can tell us at all about Sherlock 3 as far as like what it could be? What
I will. I mean, again,
This is the one they go back to the Old West, right?
Yes, exactly. It's that one. It's they're just
Biff
gunslingers.
Tannen in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert,
Sorry,
Kristian.
sorry.
Oh my God, Thomas F. Wilson was about to have a big comeback, and you just ruined it.
Damn it.
Yep. So you can thank them.
I feel so much closer to you now that you know that Biff was played by Thomas F. Wilson.
I think I want this power.
He's appearing
are
this
you
weekend at the
kidding me?
Improv Lab.
Is he really?
Mark, you say that now, but wait until we play the game. And then Ethan
game's
mops
coming
the
up.
floor with you guys.
Yeah.
But sorry. Go ahead.
No, frankly, I can't tell you that much, only because it's so early. We haven't
Right.
really decided on anything specifically, other than, of course, Holmes and Watson. Holmes, will be back. It'll take place, we think, a couple years later, probably around 1893. We're still figuring out, do we want to bring them to the United States? Do we want to bring them, to other foreign countries? Of course, some of it, we didn't spend enough time, I don't think, in London in the last one.
Right.
So we might spend more time there. Honestly, it's all still up in the air.
You heard it here first, folks. Gargamel from the Smurfs will be the villain in Sherlock 3.
Yes. Well, I have a question also about that.
But can I tell you one thing, though? I think it will be, the plot will be a little bit simpler, a little more streamlined. I think it'll be a bit more of a traditional Holmes mystery.
So idiots like me can follow it more.
Well, I think it's... you heard it here first.
Yeah.
No, but I think it will be not just that. I think we ended up having too sprawling a story in some ways. It was such a big movie. One of the things people are saying, they said, in both a good way and a bad way, it felt like a James Bond movie. And so I think in the next one, the thing that's nice about these films is we can do different types of movies for each one, as long as we keep true to the Holmes character. And I think this one will be a bit more traditional, a bit more, at least in the opening, will open with a really closed room mystery where, investigating something that is, seems impossible that it could have happened in this space, and then branch out from there. But as I say, we just hired a writer, this guy Drew Pierce, who wrote Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
And he,
Iron Man 3, I thought that was Shane Black.
he's writing with Shane Black.
Okay, great.
And he's super smart, English guy. He's really great. He wrote this show called No Heroics that was on in England that was a tremendous superhero show.
Who wrote the second one? Did Guy Ritchie write the second one?
No, it was written by this couple, Kieran and Michelle Mulroney.
Okay.
It's Dermot Mulroney's brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Fantastic.
look at that. We've gotten a lot of stuff, like when we did our Sherlock Game of Shadows review and people asking us questions, is if we've seen the BBC, the new Sherlock on there with Benedict Cumberbatch. Have you seen that at all?
Did his parents know what they were doing when they named him that? I mean, they must have. Or was that just like...
his last name.
Is his name going to be Carlos or Benedict? Benedict.
Well, what are they going to do? His last name is
Benedict Cumberbatch.
It could be John Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Larry Cumberbatch. And you'd be, it's just Larry. But now it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
It just goes so well. It's just boom, 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 boom. It's a lot to fit on a movie poster.
Yes, but he and Martin Freeman are in the BBC series, which is really good. It's it's a different way to go.
Yeah.
It takes place in the present, but it's actually a really great modern updating. I think in some ways they hew closer to the stories than we do. They're pretty much specific adaptations.
Will you guys
Ours.
steal anything from them in the third one? Or?
Well, I think we should make.
I think so. I mean, it all takes place in the present, so it's harder for us to do that.
I want Benedict to be the villain in the third one, and then they can like joust to see who gets to be Sherlock in the fourth one. That's how I would do it.
Well, him and Moriarty could sit down actually in the next one and explain what the hell happened to Tinker Tailor and what the hell happened in number 2.
Yeah, I need Cliff Notes for Tinker Tailor, man.
Now, Ethan, here's a question I had for you that I was curious about. The pronunciation of the woman's name, Noomi Rape. How do you pronounce it?
It's rape ass.
Noomi Rape Ass.
yeah. No, it's
up there with Dick Butt.
Well, now we know why she was cast in the original.
No. Oh, it's dark. Yeah. But Noomi Rapace.
Okay,
it's
Noomi Rapace.
Rapace.
Now, here's my question with that. Now, you guys were coming out around the same time as
same weekend, right?
Same weekend as Girl with the Dragon.
Well, we came out the weekend beforehand.
Right, so around the same area, not the same weekend, but now. Was it strategical to put her in there?
Was it strategical?
To go against...
Strategic. Excuse me.
What was the strategery behind...
Strategic measure?
No,
literally,
we had picked out our date before we ever started shooting, and then they just decided they were going to come out around Christmas. So it was just happenstance, but it was interesting because Michael Nyqvist, who was the Daniel Craig character in the original Swedish one, was the villain in Mission Impossible. So they all came out and just crushed, and they just crushed. Both movies crushed the remake.
There's only 5 actors.
It's a good movie, though.
But the remake also, by the way, is just
also
like Sherlock, also holding strong.
Yeah, and it's a really, really well done movie. It's really good.
I thought the villain in Mission Impossible was the tall building that Tom Cruise had to climb. Not what happened?
Can we?
Confused.
I mean, I could go on for a little while asking questions about that movie too.
Yeah, please.
I was slightly confused by.
I love that movie.
I liked it a lot. I saw it in IMAX actually.
Yeah, you have to see that movie.
That scene with the building, my God, I still can't get over it. That was so impressive to me.
I wish that was the end of the movie. Is my problem.
That's what a lot of people had because it was so
great and so exciting. And then I was like, oh, okay, we're doing random stuff. This will be full of spoilers.
A lot of people felt that way.
Well, because
kind of like a comic having to follow Gallagher in like '83 when he smashed the watermelons.
The first time he smashed a watermelon, and people's minds were just blown.
You're like, oh shit, that men and women joke is not going to work.
This is what comedy can be.
All
right. My question I had. Okay, so the villain. And stop me if you don't want to discuss this, but I need to tell this to somebody.
Yeah.
The villain.
This is why we're here. This is why
they have their. It's all I think quite solid up to through the building stuff. Mm-hmm. Then he does the great chase through the sandstorm, and then he's chasing the bad guy, this henchman, and the henchman escapes and pulls off his mask and the henchman mask, and it's actually the real bad guy.
Right. Why didn't he show up as the real bad guy?
And then I was like, oh, okay, so there really was no henchman. It's all clever. But then, like 2 scenes later, there's the henchman. He's real. What is the point of that?
I gave up on that stuff.
Also, the whole end sequence, was that a factory? What was happening there?
Right, with the cars and stuff. See,
it was rad.
That was such a cool thing.
It was a cool space. I just wanted one word to understand what it was.
I will never park my car in that parking garage.
No. Well, was it a garage? Was it a factory?
I think it was a factory.
I think it was a parking garage. You know how
then it's settled. Great. So it's totally clear then.
But I think it was a parking garage. Like the ones in L.A., if you leave your car there for too long, they'll eventually tow it. If you leave your car for too long here, they'll just smash it.
But the thing is, the reason I think that didn't bother me too much is because those 2 moments. Although I agree with you 100%, I don't think they affected the overall story.
Here's my last piece.
Yeah.
Here's the last thing that didn't make sense. When Jeremy Renner has to do their infiltration of when he's floating with the magnetic chainmail and they're doing their elaborate thing to get the the code from the Indian guy.
A situation we've all been in.
Paula Patton flexing.
Yes. Well, which no one can complain about.
No,
because she's a fine actress.
Yeah.
But the bad guys just drive up to like a TV station and do their thing. Why didn't our guys just go to that TV station if that's all you need to do? Why is this an elaborate thing when the bad guys just drive up to a TV station, like shoot one guy and like start and like anyway?
Ethan, I love hanging out with you. I'm so glad you were not sitting next to me during Mission Impossible, like nudging me every 5. No,
wait, hold on.
I said throughout the movie I was like, what? But in a good way. Like I still enjoyed it. I had a good time. And did you watch the Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. To watch the what?
The Batman prologue thing. I know you probably spoke about it.
We talked about it actually.
I would love to hear your thoughts on the Batman prologue.
I do want to talk about it.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you something because last time you were on the podcast, we had a little bit of discussion about it. Did you see Rise of the Planet of the Apes yet?
It's pretty great.
We got him.
I didn't. Here's the thing. I thought it would not necessarily be a bad movie. I just thought it was not necessarily going to make money.
Right.
So I was only half wrong.
Yeah. Well, no. If you
it made money and was
listen
a good
to the podcast. At first, you didn't think it was going to be that good.
Is that right?
Yeah, you said it was not going to be that good. You said
I'm sure you've gone back and changed that.
Then you watched the trailer, and then you said, okay, maybe this could be okay, but I don't think it's going to be.
It was done so intelligently. I was very pleased with it.
I can't wait for
whether he gets any kind of awards recognition. I don't think people are ready yet.
Yeah.
For that kind of thing.
I'll say this: he's up for a You Reviewers Award.
He is, three of them.
And I got to tell you, you know why it made money? Our review was so good.
That's right.
I did the math, and I've done the research. I did some tracking of my own at malls, and I came up with the fact that we are responsible, Schmoes, for $0.5 million of Planet of the Apes' draw.
Wow.
So
Well done. You should get some sort of percentage.
I'm waiting for a check.
Or at least like a pack of Twizzlers or something.
I do want to
hang
get
out
into
with Franco
Vines.
for a day.
I do want to get into the prologue thing, but also before we get into the prologue, I want to talk about Ethan. You have another movie.
You do such good teases on this show.
you.
You say what's coming up.
Well, we have to.
It's like Entertainment Tonight. Here's what it's all about. What's coming up.
It
When
is.
you get to it, it's like you talk about it for like 20 seconds.
It's
and then
true.
it's all just what's next.
But here,
It's all during the credits.
I just wanted to have Ethan say that
Which makes Ellis the merry heart of the show.
That's right. He sure is.
Look at my calves.
Now listen. You have another movie coming out fairly soon.
It's we're doing a film called Project X, which comes out on March 2nd.
Like the Matthew Broderick monkey
No.
one?
I mean, it's like that, except it's a found footage party movie. but we still, I mean, we took it in a slightly different direction.
Right. Is the chimp in it at least?
No, it's a dog now.
Oh, okay, good.
And Matthew Broderick is now a house.
What is the real version of your movie
There's
about?
also a funny ferret in it.
Yes.
It's great.
No, it is actually.
Does it have anything to do with the Matthew
No,
Broderick
it's Todd.
monkey movie?
It's Todd Phillips.
Yeah, it is not. It has nothing to do with it. Only the name and the nostalgia you might bring to it, which will be quickly destroyed.
Do you find a lot of people doing this, by the way? Besides him?
No, really. I guess I just talk to a lot younger people.
Right.
So no one has really brought that up.
It's just one of the funniest concepts for a movie that I don't know if I've ever actually seen the original one, but it's just like, okay, here's the government. We're going to put monkeys and airplanes, and they're going to fight the wars for us.
Right.
It can't
And then
miss.
The monkey slamming the thing with the pipes.
Yes.
All right, but let's talk about the Project X that's coming out. When is it coming out?
It comes out March 2nd.
All right.
It's
Against Hunger Games?
no Hunger Games like
Oh,
16th.
the end. Right. Okay.
No, yeah, we're that would be dupe.
Yeah.
That would just be stupid.
Right.
No, it's a really great movie. I actually didn't produce it. I just work at the company that made it.
Okay.
But Todd Phillips produced it.
Okay.
And he did the film called The Hangover and The Hangover Part 2.
Were you on set? Were you on set for this? one?
Only for a couple days. Although
Okay.
it was interesting because all night shoots. Essentially, it is a found footage party movie. It's like Cloverfield meets House Party.
Finally.
Yes, no.
It's kinda interesting,
You've
though.
got to give the
Yeah.
audience what they want. No, it's a really kind of cool new way to do this kind of movie, and I think it's incredibly funny. We've only just done a teaser, which I don't know if you guys have seen. It was out. It was attached to Devil Inside.
You might have seen.
No, me and Eliza got to Devil Inside right as the movie was starting, so we missed we missed the only good found footage of that theater experience.
No, but it's a really smart and clever way to do. It's these teenagers. They're not cool. They really want to become legendary, and so they end up throwing this party that gets out of control almost right away, and hundreds of people show up, and it's madness and flamethrowers and ample female nudity, and
how much?
Are you licensed to drive with found footage?
yes, exactly.
Found footage has never been done with a comedy.
No, that's what I was
before.
gonna say.
It hasn't. It gives it a different kind of feel. This guy Nima Nurzadeh directed it. He's this music video director, and it's really stylish.
Okay.
It's really funny. I think people will find it very fresh.
Who's in it? Is anybody that we know? Or
Absolutely no one. It was
Okay.
cast completely with unknowns
On purpose.
On purpose,
Right.
yeah, just to give it the sense of reality.
Right.
And it's funny because it's actually based on a true story of something that happened in Australia.
Oh, really?
Where they had filmed this party that didn't get as crazy as ours does, with helicopters and police riots and things like that.
Right.
Monkeys, flying airplanes.
There's midgets.
Matthew
There's a
Broderick.
midget, and there are
vertically challenged, please.
Is dwarf not okay?
No, that's
Little
people
people?
vertically challenged.
Is that right?
I believe so. That's
Oh,
I go little. Yeah.
Anyway, but it's some really, really funny stuff in the movie. I don't want to spoil too much, but actually, the only actor that was in it that I knew he plays the father of the kid who's in like 3 scenes where he's like, I'm going out of town, have a really nice time, to have a couple friends over. He was in Herman's Head. You will recognize him.
Oh,
he was the brain.
Herman's Head.
He was the brain.
We're talking about being old.
Yes.
I haven't thought about that show, and what a
Yeah.
great show.
Hank Azaria, man.
Yeah.
No, that show was phenomenal. Anyway, but Project X is really good. You'll start
Herman's
seeing.
Head.
They're going to start doing actually some screenings around major cities and try to advertise it the same way that something like Paranormal Activity was,
Yeah.
or to get a lot of word of mouth going
Right.
before it comes out,
Well,
because
that's
it's a really funny movie.
All right,
Todd Phillips is great.
And that's the first week in March.
First week in March. And then
Great, okay.
we also in April have a wonderful film called Bullet to the Head.
What is that?
It stars Mr. Sylvester Stallone.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. So wait a minute.
Karloff's energy just jumped.
He just jumped. Wait, for so many different reasons I just jumped up. First of all, so all right, so Stallone you're working with. Joel and Stallone are working together again.
Yeah.
All right, now wait a minute.
They've worked together a number of times. They did Assassins. They did Demolition Man.
Again, that hasn't happened in quite a while.
Yeah, they hadn't worked together. Circumstances,
right?
Didn't
Stallone's
allow it.
had the kind of resurgence now.
Yeah.
Circumstances didn't allow it. Nobody gave a shit about Stallone. That's what happened, and now people give a shit about him. So
that HGH works wonders, man.
Yeah. So all right.
So what's the movie about?
It's cool. It's like more of a classic Stallone
Action?
movie. He's a hitman whose partner is killed, and he teams up with a cop who is played by Sung Kang.
I didn't know it was you guys. Okay, cool.
It's great, and it takes place in New Orleans.
Okay,
and it's just a great throwback action revenge movie.
Now, did you work on the set?
I was only there for a few days.
Did you meet Stallone?
I will tell you what, I did get to meet Stallone.
And what did you think?
I have had the opportunity the fortune, in my career in the last few years to be able to, meet and work with a number of, talented, successful people.
You're in the presence of a few of them right
exactly.
now.
I met you guys, but
there you go.
Before you finish that, so just real quick, just to prove that point, who did you watch the 2008 presidential election with?
Oh well, yeah. It was election day, and I was actually over at Denzel Washington's house.
How amazing! Is that?
Oh yeah,
for Book of Eli. Yeah. So no, but yeah, Denzel Washington, Robert Downey.
Did Denzel know you were at the house?
I mean, he found out later.
All right.
Sorry.
So you meet Stallone.
Well, he's finishing his setup.
Well, no, but this is the setup.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
But
all right.
I met some amazing people. Had the opportunity to work with like Liam Neeson and stuff like that. The two people I've been most excited about meeting, just fulfilling childhood dreams. The first one was when I first came to town. I met Jean-Claude Van Damme,
awesome.
and then now Sylvester Stallone.
And good guy.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. I mean, I talked to him for like 5 minutes. No, but he's really cool. He's incredibly smart. It was funny. We were recently, we'd all watched the film and we were all giving our thoughts, and he, had given his, and somebody made the point of he's actually the only person in this entire room who has won an Academy Award.
It's funny.
Yeah,
and we're like, oh yeah. I mean, he's crazy smart. So
all right, have him on the podcast.
Okay, can I ask you about how was Van Damme when you met him, or what was that situation?
He was nice to me.
Really?
It was right when I first came out and I'd written a script.
Was he drunk?
No, he was actually he was talking about how he was no longer into any of that. I'm not even going to try and do the accent.
Right.
But
where did you meet? Did you meet him in a professional capacity?
He was working at Subway.
Yeah, no. But I was in Koreatown and I was giving massages, and he had come in and he was just really giving.
Good.
Well,
all right. So Bullet in the Head, Project X.
Yeah.
I mean that's cool. I didn't know you guys were Bullet in the Head. I'm actually anything Stallone.
No, you'll see the trailer for it soon.
Who's the cop?
Fun. The cop is this actor named Sung Kang who played Han in the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh, okay.
He's an Asian actor.
Okay, yeah, I know who this is.
And he's great in it. He's a lot of fun. And I was really happy that we cast an Asian actor who doesn't do martial arts. It's not about martial arts. He's just an Asian guy playing a person, which generally you don't get that kind of casting in movies.
No. True.
Even now.
He can't do karate.
Yeah.
Get him off the picture.
Yeah. What? He's just going to be a regular person with feelings?
That's what we have white people for.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I'm excited about those movies. I actually do want to
Bullet in the Head, and that's in April?
Bullet to the Head, yes.
Bullet to the Head.
It's in April.
Bullet in my skull, and it's coming out in April.
And what I neglected to mention is Walter Hill directed it, who did 48 Hours, just a ton of...
Joel really went to the well. I mean, not the well, but Joel went back to his roots.
Yeah, no, it really, and it has a great feel. And also the one who I think is also really great in the film, having just seen it, is everybody does a good job in it, but who really surprised me was Jason Momoa, who you didn't necessarily I know from your reviews you did not care for,
but I loved him in Game of Thrones.
He's great in Game of Thrones, and he is so in this movie he's so fun, and charismatic as one of the villains.
I don't blame him for Conan because he was horrendous in the movie, but I don't blame him because the writing was so bad and the directing was so bad in that movie. I mean, it was atrocious. So I'm glad to see that he's good in this. Wait, is he the bad guy? Is that what you're saying? Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
He's really strong.
Good.
I actually think he can. I know Conan didn't spark off that, but I think this one he has a really good shot at.
Okay, good. All right, we'll get into the Batman prologue here, but now another tease, Mark. I know you like these so much. After the Batman prologue talk, we're going to be playing the game that we played last week, to where Mark and Kenny went after one another. But they got a competitor.
At this point, it's known as the game. We don't really.
Yeah, we just have a it's the game.
Yeah, if anybody has a good idea for what to title this game. Basically, he plays a movie clip, and whoever gets what movie it is first wins. So, Kristian, I think if anybody has a good idea for what the movie should be called, or what the movie game should be called, comment on our iTunes. And rate the podcast and comment and let us know what the name of this game should be. Maybe after today we'll just have to call it Ethan Ball because he'll just wreck everybody.
Well, listen, that's exactly right. Mark's right. Just rate it in iTunes, comment in the iTunes section, and let us know what you think of the podcast and as far as what the name of the game should be called, and we will take the best suggestion and call it such. All right, let's talk about the prologue real quick, a.k.a. the movie that you can't hear the villain. Ethan, what do you feel about this controversy with the talk and the fact that Nolan doesn't want to do? Now, do you know about this? I hear that Nolan hates ADR. Do you hear this as well?
It's fine. I hadn't heard that, but I know he doesn't. I know once he's happy with a thing, he doesn't. This is what makes him such a great filmmaker. Once he's happy with it, he doesn't. Really equivocate. This is what it is.
Regardless of what people say, and they say, "Oh, well, we need to be able to hear Bane better." No one's like, "No, this is the way I want to make the movie."
I mean, as I understand it, he is going to modify it and adjust it.
I heard they're modifying the sound though, not the voice. I heard that, what they've done with the new adjustment on the for the prologue too, which I wish I would have seen. They took a lot of the plain background noise and brought up more of his voice and stuff like that.
Put it higher up in the mix, as they say in the record industry.
The thing that got me, the stuff that I read afterwards, is that people were saying, "Well, he wants the audience to be smart and figure it out themselves." There's a difference between Inception, to where you're sitting there watching and trying to figure it out for yourself, and really paying attention to it, and even Tinker Tailor, something like that, to where you have to really pay attention to, as opposed to when you just can't hear somebody. Like if you tell me if I'm going to tell you I'm going to go, you ask me I'm going to go to Subway and get a sandwich, and you go, "What do you want?" I go, I'm not going to expect that you figure out what the fuck I said and got me a meatball sub.
If I waited all day to get Rolling Stones tickets, I'd like to be able to hear Mick Jagger sing, or at least talk loud.
Right. I get paying attention. You have to pay attention, and if you don't get it, then you're an idiot. But if you're paying attention, you still don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, look, I paid attention to Game of Shadows, and I,
Watch it a second time. Everyone, it only gets better.
I will.
What's your feeling on this whole Bane controversy?
I mean, I'll just start by saying the movie is going to be phenomenal.
Can't wait.
I'm really excited about it.
How epic did that feel? Did that prologue feel? My goodness, it felt big.
I actually think the trailer that was attached to it, which I think is just a little different than the regular trailer they released, it got me most excited. I think that the footage,
football, when it starts with the football stadium and everything.
Yeah, where it starts with the football stadium, and I guess the thing that was missing for me about the prologue is I wanted to see Batman, because the prologue that they ran on for the prologue that they ran on the. I
just kind of like that guy.
He's just so dreamy.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
There's probably people who aren't going to get that reference because they're too young.
I know.
That are listening to this right now.
It's all right.
But no, I thought it was really. I mean, I thought it was still pretty rad. There was the Bane issue with hearing him, and also just because he's not as iconic a character. When they introduced for the Dark Knight, the movie previous to this, they had run a similar thing on
bank scene, right?
the bank scene in front of I Am Legend, and
that must have been incredible.
And that was amazing because it's this character. You're like, oh, that's the Joker. Is this guy going to be the Joker? Is this guy going to be the Joker? Oh, that's the Joker. How wonderful and clever. And here, you're like, oh, it's that guy.
Well, but that's true. But the difference is, you say he's not an iconic character. He will be.
Oh, I think, but it's funny because
he will be.
He will be. I mean, he's like the new Darth Vader, man. With that.
No, I think he can be.
Guy with the new Darth Vader.
I'm telling you, the guy.
Relax.
All right, I'm just saying. What a great line when he goes, if I took that off you, would you die? It'd be extremely painful for you.
Yes.
I mean,
I don't see how that's an iconic villain line. You were going nuts about
that
this
line.
in the trailer.
I said no. That's not the line that I liked. The line that I liked is when Gotham is in ashes, you have my permission to die.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't. It's not great.
I won't spoil things for people who aren't familiar with the comics. The stuff that happens with Bane and Batman in the comics is amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
and if they follow that, then
it looks like they're going to. The poster that we're actually going to start putting in our reviews.
That was right in my wheelhouse that time. For comic books, what was reading when Batman was going through his. I was reading that with the Superman shirt where the logo's bleeding. Like I was really into.
This isn't a spoiler because people know this. In the comic books, Bane breaks Batman's back.
He holds him up and he goes bang. Like remember when Bo Jackson struck out and he took the bat and he broke it over his thigh? Yes. That's what Bane does to Batman.
Yeah, and the question is Nolan going to have the balls to do it?
And okay, now if we're going to pontificate, because I truly have no idea. This movie's under lock and key.
Ethan, that's what we do on this podcast. Is pontificate.
Well, no, I just want to say, even though I work, at Warner Brothers, I have literally no idea what happens in this movie, and so I'm just pontificating here. I think it would be cool if they do follow that, and he's out of commission, and in the comics, there's a character called Azrael.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, right?
And I wonder if it'll be Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I think it is too. I mean,
Okay, here's what I think is going to happen. Okay, Bane breaks Batman's back, and then Michael Caine, because we all know he was a badass,
That's not gonna
like
happen.
way back in the day,
in original Get Carter.
has an Uzi,
Yes.
and he ends up saving the day.
Michael Caine, by the way, his accent went really up the roof in the new movie. Huh? I was like, hey, what I tell you about your father?
I was in Burma.
Yeah, all right, so that's the Batman talk.
Yes.
We're very excited about it. Everybody, if you're a film fan in general, you're excited about the movie. Let's get to what is right now as this podcast called The Game. Ethan, how this works is I'm going to play a clip of the movie.
Okay.
You guys, first person to know what it is, you say your name, then you answer, and we're going to play where we agreed on the first one to 3. And if it's a tiebreaker, then we go to 4 or 5.
Yeah, and you say once you know the quote, once you know what movie it's from, you say your name, unless you're Kenny, in which case you just blurt out the wrong answer.
Blurt it out.
Terminator 3.
Yeah.
Rise of the Machines.
All right, here's the first one.
Is that really your idea of how to run a newspaper?
I don't know how to run a newspaper, Mr. Thatcher. I just try everything I can think of.
Todd, you know perfectly.
Ethan.
Yes.
Citizen Kane.
Yes, Ethan, 1-0.
Whoa.
I think we should play to 5. I really do. I think Ethan's going to get 5 pretty
If
fast.
you have the movies queued up, I'm worried about your technical abilities, Kristian.
Just surf the web zones
Yeah.
there.
All right.
Come on.
All right, Ethan, on the board with Citizen Kane.
That's right. You guys have to talk in between because I got to pull these.
Oh, fine. I
I'm
concentrating.
concentrating. I'm like,
You know-
I'm
Sorry,
Yeah,
through
the rest of us
IMDb
can't
in my
see
head.
how handsome Kristian is right
And
now.
that was a
working
good
his
point by
computer.
Kristian to go back to the classic, because I was thinking, like, okay, 1978 is the oldest one he's going to pull. But everything's online now, kids.
I know it. Well, I'll bring this up after the game because there is something very important I need to talk to Kristian about.
Uh-oh.
What is
it? Is it a parenting issue?
Well, as you all know, because Kristian is
He doesn't
a new
know.
father, and
Yes, he
there's
is.
something incredibly at stake here.
The Star Wars.
Are you going to show him? Are you going to show him in story order or release order?
I'm torn. We've had this conversation.
This is why you need to have
before.
2 kids.
I said my
Get on this. If you're not
test
going to do it, if you're not going to do it, I'm coming over.
All right, that's probably going to be 4 through 6 and then 1 through 3. All right, here we go.
Failure.
Or not.
The Artist.
Bazingo!
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Been sitting on that one for a week.
Two times.
Okay.
Should I start?
Ethan.
Okay,
Yeah.
The Muppets.
No.
The Muppet
That
movie?
is wrong. That is wrong.
here we go.
Phone.
Yes, what a perfect day.
Mark.
Yes.
E.T.
That's right. All right.
What? The Muppets were on in the background, weren't they?
Ellis steals
I
one.
was going to yell the Dark Crystal. Just for,
Trick question.
I was thinking Labyrinth at the
Yeah.
beginning. I heard that voice, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, it was. All right, so we're doing okay here.
that is Ellis snatching victory from
3
the
men
jaws.
enter. 3 men leave.
All right.
I know this music. I'm so tense right now.
wow.
It's a very famous scene.
Sounds famous.
There's a lot of music right now.
Gripping radio.
I feel like a golf announcer. He's
Perhaps
lining
you
up
should
the
have queued
putt
it up slightly later.
I know I should have.
This is very exciting
This is-
for the audience, though.
for birdie.
Perhaps you should have chose a talkie.
I tried it.
This is.
Come on. Who's got it?
This is Christian Harloff waking up in the morning.
The audience members out there screaming right now. They know the answer.
Ken, Psycho. I don't know.
What? Ken got it. Psycho. No! Ken just guessed. And
Wow.
All right,
Shower.
we're at a three-way tie
Oh.
here.
Jeez.
Unbelievable.
Psycho.
I didn't think I was going to get in this game.
The shower scene from Psycho.
Yes.
Christian has thrown down the gauntlet.
He
This
truly
could
has.
literally be any movie in the history of
Yeah.
time now.
Yep.
This is like the Universal
All right,
tour.
Here we go. Next one.
Okay.
Can make a difference.
Mark.
In 25 years.
Jaws.
Yeah.
Wow.
In Amity, one man can make a difference.
We are on the backlot tour, aren't
Would
we?
you like a pretzel?
We're doing all right here. Okay.
The great outdoors.
Mark, you're doing a lot better than I thought you would.
Yeah, this is.
Why
impressive.
do you? I'm great at this,
He
dude.
really does root against you.
Yeah, it's
palpable.
I deal with this
Yeah.
on a daily basis.
Kind of our thing. All right, here we go.
I'll just get a text. Why are you so stupid?
Shut your mouth.
I mean, he's a fucking heavyweight or a middleweight. It's impossible. It'll never happen, so...
Ken, Raging Bull.
Crazy thing.
Ken. Look at Ken.
Ethan is in the back.
I am. This is troubling.
2-1.
We shouldn't record these at like 5 a.m. It's really messing me up.
All right, so right now this is going pretty good for.
Are we doing whoever gets a 3 first? Or
Yeah,
are we doing whoever gets a 5 first?
3. Let's do 3.
We're gonna do the 3.
Whoever gets a 3 first. So me and Ken could win.
No,
As we walked along the flat block marina, I was calm on the outside, but thinking all the time. So now
Ken,
it is
Clockwork Orange?
Ken, hey.
Look at him.
No, you want it? No, all right, now it's up to you guys. I think we can do. I think we go to 5.
I'll go to 5.
I
Yeah.
say we go to 5.
Fine,
Kenny's
fine.
in the lead right
Wow.
now.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Kenny is in
Wow,
the lead.
working against me, but okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Kenny, that whole country bumpkin, I'm just happy to be here shit isn't going to work, all right?
All right,
I just love electric lights.
pretty good. Pretty good.
9 to 5, Dabney Coleman.
All right, let's see. All right, so what do we got? What do we got?
You know what's really...
The technical precision of this game is...
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
We have top men working on it
Mark.
right now.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Wow, look at Mark.
Yeah,
Really good.
I was waiting to steal.
Ethan, you're letting me down here, pal.
Hey, I'm letting myself down.
Unbelievable right now.
What's the score now?
We got 3 to 3, and Ethan.
3 to 1.
Ethan
Yep.
is-
Yeah, 3 to
pretty much
1.
Just check out.
Yeah.
But anytime, and they always say this about the great athletes, anytime Ethan Erwin is in the game, you never count him out. He's like Tebow right now. The first 3 quarters,
here we go.
nothing.
Right.
I don't know what that is.
I guess that was the decent thing to do. Captain?
Ethan?
Yes.
Saving Private Ryan?
Look at Ethan.
Ethan making a
Right
run.
back in the ball.
You know
game.
what? I picked out Ed Burns' voice. I was going to yell Maxine Bond's role and...
All right, we're doing all right.
That was
so
good.
Ethan,
All right.
3, 3, 2, 2.
Yeah.
I guess you know
Okay.
what? Because
3 to 2.
yeah, that's right.
Yes, that's...
There is no fourth contestant.
Elijah also has 2.
Toby from Paranormal Activity 3 is not playing the game. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Soon.
Anyway.
Buffering.
Maestro. You couldn't play something good, huh? Hank Williams or something?
They broke the door down before I could take requests.
Mark,
2
what?
weeks in the...
Roadhouse.
No.
Oh, shit. No such thing as easy time in the hole.
That's right, a week in the hole is like a year. Damn straight.
I'm Mr.
Ethan?
Mozart.
Yeah.
Keep me
Goodfellas?
No.
What?
Kenny.
They let you tote that record player down there, huh?
I think I got. Can I enter if he?
Kenny gets the guess.
This is going to be...
Keep listening.
In here. That's the beauty of music. They can't get that from you.
Mark.
No, you're done.
I'm
That's got to be a Shawshank, right?
Shawshank
Oh, yeah,
Redemption.
yeah.
Well, if he didn't,
Nobody got it, so you get the point for
All right,
that.
all right.
That's fine.
All right, this is it. Final one. If Mark can get it.
Oh, my God.
all right.
If Mark can get it, it is over and done.
Okay, wait. Because I've heard this so few times in my life, I want to say this. Mark Ellis for the win.
That's true. All right, here we go. This is the possible final last clip. If Mark gets it,
Good luck, all in.
here we go.
I'm okay, officer.
Jeez, I hope nobody got hurt.
Mark.
What?
Signs.
No.
That's good there.
You're very quiet. You're man I missed the play, aren't you? I have 2 jobs, baby. You know how important they are for us.
Punchline.
Shut up.
I'd give anything to have been there.
Is it Ethan? Is it Sixth Sense?
It is 6 cents.
I was so close,
You were.
man. Because I thought that was the car accident
Yes,
with the.
but it's
yeah.
the other car accident.
It has her pinned in such a way that it's keeping her alive.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, and there's green aliens in the forest too. So a
Unrelated.
Bunch of,
But you know what though? I think Signs is like 2 solid good movies that just happen to shake hands.
I think Signs is phenomenal. I love that movie.
Let's see what we can. So we're at.
It's 4 to 3 to 3.
Here we go.
Ethan?
Yeah.
Rocky?
You're right. How did you not get that immediately?
I heard it, and I was waiting. I was biding my time too much. I
Because
just
what if it
sat
was
on
Rocky? What if it was Rocky 2?
Ethan
I was
making
thinking
a
4.
huge comeback
Yeah.
here,
Yeah,
just
well,
like Rocky.
just like
Yeah.
he thought he would.
And it is now 4 to 3.
Yep.
I'm in the...
Wow. So
Yep.
Ethan, who was in the shit dumps, is
Yeah.
back. And
Kind of
could-
rooting for Kenny to
I
get
am.
this one because
I'm
I
gonna
want it to be.
purposely bomb this.
All right.
So who do you guys out there think is going to win this?
I'm not going to go that far.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm the handsomest.
It's artificial?
Ethan.
Yeah.
Blade Runner.
Ethan wins the game.
I've never seen Blade Runner. Damn it.
Shot, and I called it from the beginning. I said Ethan would win.
Okay, you did call that Ethan was going to win, but before you got here, Ethan, he was like, he's going to clean the floor with you guys.
I did.
You're not even, so I'm glad we held in.
Wait.
I think we held in there.
Way to go.
If you look at that, he was down 4-1, I believe.
I'm not saying it wasn't impressive, and I'm not saying his effort was. He's spectacular.
And he fittingly has his arm draped back and looks like he's ready to smoke a cigar.
What up?
Folks, you can't see this right now. Ethan looks like Han Solo right before he shoots Greedo.
That's right.
That's what he's got.
Well, Ethan, congratulations. Thank you for doing me proud and winning the game.
Thank you, yes.
All right,
it was a great deal of fun.
We'll do that again.
And so for the next week, the game is called Ethan Ball.
Ethan Ball. Until someone in Schmoeville comes up with a better.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Schmoeballs.
Maybe
that's not as good.
I actually like Schmoeballs, and then the winner, like now you have the Stanley Cup for the next week. So everywhere you go.
That's awesome.
Well,
I don't know what that is either.
That was the game, my folks, and that was another episode of the Schmoes Know podcast.
We're already done.
I would like to thank Kenny Napzok for co-hosting again. Thank you, pal.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for bringing me back.
I'd like to thank my co-host, Mark Ellis. Mark, where should they see you, man?
No, I'm watching the Super Bowl this week, man.
What about the end of the month?
Huh?
The end of the month, you're going to be doing,
I don't know what that is.
When does this podcast air?
This is in 2 weeks. You'll still
I am in Houston right now.
So you're in Houston now.
I'm in Houston,
You're in Houston.
Tonight, come to the Improv.
That's right.
And see me. Go to improv.com
It's like
for
a
tickets.
weird episode, weird Back to the Future movie.
Weird space-time continuum. Yeah, Principal Strickland's opening for me.
That's right. And I would love for Ethan Erwin, our good friend, to come back again and to defend his title. And in the meantime, you can still check out Game of Shadows.
Yep.
You can check out Project X when it comes out.
March 2nd, and then in April, Bullet to the Head.
Yes, and thank you very much, guys, for checking out. Remember, rate and comment on iTunes. Let us know what you think the name of the game should be, what you think of the podcast, and how much you're excited for Catherine to return next week.
I was so disappointed. That was the only reason I came in.
That's
the only reason I came in.
That seems to be
the villain in
sentiment.
Ghostbusters 3 is going to have your face.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, and we're out.